How deceptive are sex offenders? You're about to find out. This is Ahmad Blakemore, a registered sex offender. He has something important he wants to tell you.
This is a sex offender notification card. This particular sex offender notification card happens to be my sex offender notification card. I got it from a neighbor. He called me over and he said, "How you doing?" I said, "Everything is good." He holds up the card. He said, "Is this you?" And I said, "Yes, it is." And he asked me a question I have been asked 150 times, if not more. How could you violate a 12-year-old child and not get a life sentence?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. 12 years old. All right, here we go. 12-year-old female. 12-year-old female. Conviction date. What is that? August 22nd, 2002. First degree sodomy. So that's him. She was 12 years old. She was 12 years old. Okay, the offense date was in 94. He was arrested in 2000 and convicted in 2002. Nasty work. Nasty work. Description, sexual motivation. So it took them 6 years to get this guy. That means she was 18 when he was arrested. And that means she was 20 when he was convicted. Wow. Well, there you have it, folks. Now this man's on YouTube trying to, appeal to your better senses that these types of people deserve a second chance or an understanding, an advocacy. This is disgusting. Disgusting. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's all I got, y'all. I just wanted to go over this real quick because literally I don't know what. Clearly the universe said do this, and I'm just like, okay, are you sure? Do it. So, in the words of Palpatine, do it. Let the anger flow. Let the hate flow. So I was told to do this. All right, there you go, y'all. There you go. She was 12. Somebody else had a victim. Somebody else had a 12-year-old victim too, but we're not here for that. All right, we're here for education and enlightenment and to be aware of what these people are thinking. All right? Okay. I'm out of here, man. I will get up in the morning and we'll do a proper live stream and go over a couple of these other stories that I wanted to cover tonight, but I was like, I can take the night off. But then, like I said, I don't know how I came across this guy's channel. Do not ask me, okay? YouTube no longer sends you things that what you look at. They just send you shit that YouTube thinks was of interest to you. And I'm just like, no. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I didn't think there's actual people out here like this trying to advocate for these types of criminals. I never would have guessed that you had men out here, just people in general, bold enough to say, hey, this is the type of crime I did, and now I'm trying to help you guys see us in a different light. I never would have guessed at all. Never. So y'all be careful. People out here really, when you talking about trying to get the laws changed, oh no, sir, you are a danger to society. She was 12 years old. Disgusting. Clearly you were in your 30s.
Very good question. He said, this is appalling, disgusting, and it makes me angry. And I told him, I agree. I feel the same way. The truth of the matter is, I did not violate a 12-year-old child. That's why I'm here with you having this conversation. Had I done that, I would have a life sentence. And I'm explaining to him how these court cases work. Generally, the DA will overcharge a case. Overcharging gives them the room to come down. Say, for instance, a murder case turning into a manslaughter case. In my case, the DA decided that she would not come down, that she wanted the Class A charge. But there is no proof for the Class A charge. There is no 12-year-old, but she wants the Class A charge. So we make a deal. Her deal to me is you give me the Class A charge as the headline charge, and in the sentencing process, I will sentence you based on the B class charge that you actually committed. The charge I actually committed is statutory by age difference. Being 16 years older than the victim is statutory.
Okay, why would you take a... But you said there was no 12-year-old, but there was an underage person. No, yes, I'm not under... That doesn't make sense. So there's no 12-year-old. So you took a plea deal. You agreed to take... Wait, that's not how this works. So he said he took the plea for the A felony, but got charged as a B felony. That's not how this works, but I'm not in Alabama. I never had these type of charges. My shit was for, but I'm more than sure if you take the harsher charge, you're not going to get sentenced for under a lesser punishment. That's not how this works. Wow.
The victim being 16 and me being 30 something. That is how these cases work.
Ahmad claims the victim was really 16 and that the case was only illegal because of the age difference. But that makes no sense under Alabama law because 16 is the age of consent. The plea explanation doesn't hold water either. Prosecutors can charge aggressively, but they don't bring charges without probable cause. And plea deals normally lead to lesser charges or dropped charges, but they do not work by giving someone a worse charge than the facts support, and then secretly treating it like something less serious. His registration also specifically says the victim was a 12-year-old female. We pointed these issues out in a comment on his video. He promptly deleted it.
Okay, this is modern day leper. It says, I spent 5 years in prison, not as a statistic, as a man forced to sit with what I had done and who I had become. When I came home, I did something most said was impossible. I came to peaceful terms with my victim, not to erase the past, to face it fully. Out of that conversation, one that should have never been possible, we found a shared purpose. She reached out to women, I reached out to men, and something remarkable happened. Men and women on the registry, loving someone on the registry, cast out by the church, abandoned by the system, have found something here they couldn't find anywhere else. Not pity, not programs, a path. So we're going to go through a lot of his content. A lot. Okay. Let's go here.
Hello, and how are you? Thank you for stopping by the channel Modern Day Leper. I am the Modern Day Leper, Ahmad Blakemore, here with another video to talk to you, God's people, just to open my heart and have a discussion. There are things that I've wanted to discuss since I came from prison in 2007, and there's been a lot of things on my heart, and I wanted to take the opportunity to share those things with you. There are things that a sex offender wish you knew. And
okay, yes, I'm here for it.
I am a sex offender. This is why this channel is called Modern Day Leper, because sex offenders in our society are outcasts. There are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of men and women here in America and around the world that are marginalized because they have sex offender status. And there are things that sex offenders would like you the general public to know.
Okay.
And that's why I'm here, the modern day leper. In the Bible, there is a story about the lepers that Jesus healed, the 10 lepers. And after they were healed, only one came back. I represent the one that came back. I came back to give back because people are hurting and someone has to do it. And so I, Ahmad Blakemore, no longer willing to hide. I've done my time. I've come out of prison. I've followed the rules. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. There are people more fortunate than me. There's a lot of people less fortunate than me. And I've decided to come out front to do what I can to help those people by addressing you and letting you know how we feel as sex offenders.
Wow.
There are things that we wish you knew.
Okay. Educate us.
And one of the things we wish you knew is that, number one, your imagination is overactive. Yes, your imagination is overactive. When you think of sex offenders, what do you think of? Children being raped, babies, somebody's child, this, that, the third thing. An overactive imagination is the worst place for sex offenders to live, in the general public's imagination. When you have an overactive imagination, it's always the worst case scenarios. And because you think of the worst case scenarios, you make yourself inactive to love,
Wow.
to have empathy, and to understand that when you hear the word sex offender, you can be a sex offender without having nothing to do with children. You can be a sex offender without having anything to do with sex. Imagine that. These are the things we want you to know. Don't think bad when you hear the word sex offender.
Mm-mm.
Don't overuse your imagination.
Mm-mm.
Don't think of the worst case scenarios.
Mm-mm.
Don't be threatened by what you personally believe in your imagination. It's all conjured up. It's not real.
Wow. Wow.
That's number one.
This is why we're here tonight.
Number two, sex offenders come from all walks of life. Black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, all over the world. Every ethnic background has sex offenders in it, which means no one can say who a sex offender is. Sex offenders are not poor people. Sex offenders are not dumb. Some sex offenders are highly educated. From all
You notice the cross in his eyes. So obviously he's using some sort of ring light that's in the shape of a cross. You can't hide behind the Bible or religion with this shit. I'm sorry. We don't have any wood chippers available, but I'm here to see how the enemy thinks, y'all. Learn from your enemy. Come on.
all backgrounds. You can't say that the reason this guy is a sex offender because he's stupid or he was an idiot. No. Sex offenders come from all walks of life. Highly educated men, not so educated men, black, white, and every other color in between. So you can't say you know what a sex offender looks like. We also would like you to know that in the process of prison and doing prison time, that most sex offenders have accepted some form of spirituality, in most cases Christianity. And these are highly spiritual people, understanding what they're up against in their life when they come out of prison.
Really?
Most of us are following the rules. We register, we pay our money, we're where we're supposed to be, doing what we're supposed to be doing. But the general public doesn't know that. The general public, as a matter of fact, knows very little about sex offenders because all they know is what the politicians say when they say, oh, we're going to get tough on this or we're going to get tough on that. And they will find a group of people or ideas to go to war on. And based on what that politician does, once that politician is out of office, some good ideas or bad ideas that he implemented are still going. Some of these ideas are antiquated.
Okay, let's
Some
get
of
to
these
number 3.
ideas, these are things sex offenders wish you knew. We have to register. Primarily for the rest of our lives, we're registered, we're monitored.
Okay.
Did you know that sex offenders in the state I live in went from being registered once a year to now being registered 4 times a year.
Okay.
So we have to register every quarter.
Okay.
Why is that? Most sex offenders aren't moving around that much, considering that most of us, if you didn't know, have a limited area that we can live in. So in my particular state, it's 2,000 feet from a school or daycare. That's a limited amount of space because you're actually going to run out of square miles in any given city. But sex offenders don't move that much. So we went from registering 1 time a year to now registering 4 times a year. What's the difference and why is this significant? The reason this is significant, ladies and gentlemen, is because we have to pay every time we register. In my state, it's $20. So it's $10 to the city, $10 to the county. So that's $80 a year.
Oh,
now,
no.
$80 a year
Oh, no.
may not seem like a lot of money to most people. But what if you're a registered sex offender, a major felon who can't get a job, who don't have any income? In most cases, you may be homeless. You may live in one of the tent cities. What happens if you can't get that $20 when it's your time to register? Guess what? You go back to jail. Now, I can hear it now. Hey, sex offenders, they should be in jail. But if you understand it, sex offenders are people who committed crimes. Just like people who murder are people who committed crimes. People who steal, break
Pay
in your
attention.
house, take all your stuff,
Pay
injure
attention.
your family members. They've committed crimes too.
Pay attention. GCP.
People who have Ponzi schemes and steal your money, they've committed crimes too. What's the difference? The difference is we all do our time, and when our time is done, only sex offenders get held on to. Why is that? Because sex offenders, in the imagination of the general public, are heinous people. This is why you have shows like Law and Order SVU saying these crimes are specifically heinous, or these victims are special victims. We have a special victims unit. All victims of any crime are special. Everyone that has had a crime committed against them deserves empathy and respect, and to have justice served against those who have committed the crimes against them. You don't have to have a special group of people to come up with new laws when there are already laws on the books to govern a wide array of crimes that are being committed every day, and the laws already exist. What it boils down to is special pleading. That this group of people will be treated.
Okay, let's get to the next reason. Let's get to the next reason.
You now are moving on a different vibration. What more can a man do? Why has God forgiven us and society hasn't?
Boy, here we go to religion.
What then are we supposed to do? How then do we reach out to the community? Are we forever to be hidden? Are we forever to walk in the dark with our heads down?
Yes.
Are we forever to have to crawl in the mud for crimes we've paid for? And to say that we've been to prison and we've EOS'd our time. We've done everything the state has asked us to do. We're registered. We're where we're supposed to be. We're working the jobs and doing the best we can. What else would you have us do? Why are sex offenders treated like second-class citizens when we have done probably more than the average person, and that's done our time, and that's paid for our sins? You see, what is the responsibility of a civilized society when a man has done his time?
Yeah.
What is the responsibility of our faith-based communities concerning sex offenders who have done their time?
Once again, we're here to
Reach out
learn.
to our Christian
We're
communities,
here to learn.
Who can we reach out to? Are the Christian communities judging us just as bad as everyone else? Is there no Christianity for sex offenders? Is there no God for us?
Wow.
Are picking and choosing what group of people we want to marginalize. Does that make us feel better because we get to marginalize some people? These are questions that I always wanted to ask. Does society feel better? The truth of the matter is this, in the long and the short of it, sex offenders are a group of people that really need the love of true Christians. And I say that in quotes, true Christians, because nobody can say